The Dunlop MSA British Touring Car Championship wrapped up the opening half of its 2016 campaign with a thrilling weekend of racing, come both rain and shine, at Croft in North Yorkshire, as the title chase took another twist and a new name joined the winner's circle. Croft is renowned as something of a rear-wheel drive circuit, so it was perhaps no surprise to see Colin Turkington reprise his Alton Park form in qualifying to annex a second straight BTCC pole position. But behind the Subaru driver, Eurotech Racing's Dan Lloyd and MG's Ash Sutton caught the eye in second and third, with championship leader Sam Tordoff an impressive fifth with maximum ballast. It was rear-wheel drive against front-wheel drive at the start of race one, as Colin Turkington's Subaru and local lad Daniel Lloyd's Honda lined up on the front row of the grid. As the field sped down towards turn one for the first time, Lloyd tried to hang on around the outside, but contact with Turkington pitched the Eurotech racing car into the gravel and out of the race. In the ensuing melee and dust cloud, championship leader Sam Tordoff was forced off the road and rejoined well down the order. But up front, there were no such dramas for Subaru men Turkington and Jason Plato, who led the way. Meanwhile, Hunter Abbott's strong qualifying performance came to naught, as the Powermax Racing Chevrolet was another early casualty following contact with Adam Morgan, bringing out the safety car at the end of the opening lap. It was only a short lull, and when the racing resumed, leader Turkington nailed the restart, as everybody sought to take advantage of the slightest error from the driver ahead. It was tight back in the midfield, with a slight shuffling of the order when Matt Jackson's Ford Focus put a wheel on the dirt at Sunny, while championship contender Morgan's weekend took an early blow when contact at the end of lap 5 put him out of the race. As the Subarus pulled away, all eyes turned to the tussle over third, with Jack Goff trying every way he knew to get past the impressive Ash Sutton, who wasn't willing to surrender his podium position without a fight. There were further safety car interventions following a dramatic off for Mark Howard's Volkswagen at Clairvaux midway through, and Ada Moffat's hobbled Mercedes as well. But the final order remained unchanged as Turkington tallied his second victory of the season from teammate Plato, with Sutton hanging on for his maiden BTCC podium in third. Jason Plato swept all the way around the outside of Colin Turkington to snatch the lead at the start of race 2, but greater drama was to follow later on. Teammate James Cole, in contrast, found himself beached in the Clairvaux gravel trap following contact with Alex Martin, prompting an early safety car appearance. Once the racing resumed, Tom Ingram was the man on the move, niftily diving past the Ford Focus of Andrew Jordan into Tower to grab 7th place. Turkington repaid the favour to teammate Plato on lap 5 as he passed the sister Subaru Levorg around the outside heading into Tower, with the BMWs of Jack Goff and Rob Collard holding a watching brief behind, as Ash Sutton's MG led a train of cars squabbling over 5th. The duel for the lead came to a head at mid-distance as Plato and Turkington collided going through Tower, momentarily delaying Goff and allowing Collard to opportunistically leapfrog from 4th to 1st in the blink of an eye, as the Subarus also swapped positions. As Collard controlled proceedings at the front, behind the lead quartet, Sutton had his hands full, fending off a whole line of rivals, with joint championship leaders Sam Tordoff and Matt Neal trading paint in the queue of cars. The BMW man made the move stick next time around, before setting his sights on Andrew Jordan's battle-scarred Motorbase machine. Tordoff's next target was Ingram, but the same move he had successfully applied on Neal and Jordan failed to come off on the Toyota, forcing the Yorkshireman to think again. Collard remained untravelled to the checkered flag to record the 13th victory and 50th podium of his career, while the scrap over 7th went right the way to the line as Tordoff's last-ditch attempt to wrest the position from Ingram resulted in contact, although 8th spot did secure him pole position for the day's reversed grid finale. On a wet track, Tordoff and Ingram lined up alongside one another on the front row for race 3 and maintained that order when the lights went out, as a slick-shod Matt Jackson narrowly clung on to 3rd from the fast-starting Jack Goff, and Warren Scott almost immediately found himself in the wars again. Later, around the opening lap, a number of different lines out of the chicane emphasised the slippery conditions. The safety car was deployed once more to deal with Scott's Subaru, and at the restart, Tordoff made good his escape, while Jackson gave a vivid illustration of the lack of grip available in his slick-shod Ford Focus. As Goff defended third place from race 1 winner Colin Turkington, Ash Sutton tried to slice down the inside of both of them into tower. The MG clearly revelling in the greasy conditions and the rear-wheel drive machinery not enjoying so much of an advantage on the damp track. Just one corner later and Sutton was up to 4th past Goff. As Tordoff pulled clear at the front, the second-placed scrap intensified, with Turkington closing in on Ingram and Sutton closing in on the pair of them, despite a number of wild moments in his MG. Further down the field, Aidan Moffat and Matt Jackson came to grief at Clairvaux, and just before the safety car appeared to clear up the debris, Collard deposed BMW teammate Goff from 5th after running side by side through several corners. At the restart, Tordoff again led the pack away from Ingram and Turkington, who was coming under increasing pressure from Sutton's charging MG, who aggressively forced his way past at the hairpin at the end of lap 9, giving Ingram 2 hefty thumps in the process, as the ever-opportunistic Collard also demoted Turkington to 5th. The next driver on Sutton's hit list was Ingram, and it wasn't long before he snatched 2nd at Tower, leaving the Toyota man with his mirrors full of Collard's WSR machine, with Turkington similarly right in the mix. Sutton was still pushing hard as he slid out of the chicane on lap 11 in pursuit of leader Tordoff, with the fight for 3rd attracting ever more pretenders, and Josh Cook reinforcing the wet weather prowess of the MG as he got the better of Goff for 7th. A prolonged late race safety car for a collision between Jeff Smith and Hunter Abbott reduced the lead gap to nothing, and at the restart it was game on between Tordoff and Sutton. The MG man immediately went on the attack, and after pulling alongside on the outside heading into Tower on the penultimate lap, he completed the move on the inside at Barcroft, leaving Tordoff to focus on fending off the chasing pack. As Sutton stretched away to clinch his breakthrough BTCC victory, Tordoff and Ingram consolidated 2nd and 3rd places, and all hell let loose behind as Collard, Turkington, Jordan and Cook all disputed 4th, with their scrap going right the way to the checkered flag. At the end of the day, the happiest man at Croft was first-time race winner Ash Sutton. Ash Sutton, when you came to Croft, did you think in your wildest dreams you'd be leaving as a first-time touring car race winner?
No, I didn't. Don't get me wrong. I love the track. It's a fantastic track for me. We've had many results over the categories that we've been in. We knew we wasn't really going to favour the track being a front-wheel drive car. So to get our first podium in race 1 was over the moon. I was settled. I was done with that. But as soon as I saw a bit of rain coming, I was like, right, let's crack on and let's do it in race 3.
Race 3 just seemed to be no fear.
No, at the end of the day, the car gave me a load of confidence. I love the wet weather. I've been given a nickname for Nemo in the past. So, yeah, no, the 2 clicked. The team gave me a car that was on rails, literally on rails. Didn't hesitate me. I got loads of confidence. So it was just a case of making the most of the opportunity.
And they presented themselves, but other people perhaps were being a bit more cautious than you. They might have been thinking points. You seem to have the attitude of nothing to lose. Well,
exactly. I haven't got anything to lose. It's my first year. We crash. But at the end of the day, I was on the limit. I'd like to say that you caught a few moments. But, yeah, no, we were on the limit, and to be travelling half a second quicker than what the lead was doing at the time was the real key thing. It was just keeping that momentum going. The safety car come out, and it was like, right, have a break, gather your thoughts, and crack on for the last 2.
We saw a big sideways moment coming out of the chicane with the team on the radio saying, just calm down a bit, or leaving you to it?
They left me to it, to be honest with you. So, yeah, they left me to it, and I just did what I did.
Fantastic, well done.
Cheers, thank you.